I want to bring Chuck Todd, moderator of Meet the Press, in on this now this morning. Good morning, Chuck.
Hey, good morning, Kristen.
Well, the turmoil in Afghanistan continues to grab headlines as the U.S. rushes to meet the evacuation deadline. There's warnings now another attack on the U.S. troops still there. It's not just likely, it's imminent. One of your guests today is former National Security Advisor to President Trump, H.R. McMaster. He's been very vocal about what he calls failures in Afghanistan. Does the Biden administration at all feel, even if not admitting publicly, this withdrawal was not planned properly, or are they just sticking to what they've said publicly?
You know, on that point, they're not ready to say that they know for sure, but they're saying, look, there's going to be a lot of time to figure out the after action here. And I think that's going to be, right now, you've got a little bit of what I call circular finger pointing. I mean, you are hearing some folks inside the White House feeling as if the military withdrawal when it began in July was a bit too hasty. You have those at the Pentagon wondering why the State Department took so long getting that special immigrant visa process, that should have begun sooner and that people should have been evacuated sooner. And of course, those at the Pentagon are pointing the finger a little bit at the White House as well, so wondering why didn't they take any of our warnings that the Taliban was in a position perhaps to take over the country even sooner than some thought. So look, I do think you're going to see more of that circular finger pointing as Congress steps in and does more investigation. But I do think this is going to center on, in the near term, the decision by the military to withdraw as quickly as they did in July. Did we withdraw our military assets too quickly before getting our Afghan allies out?
And you'll also have Secretary of State Antony Blinken. What are the biggest questions he has to answer now? And could you see a shakeup in the national security team in the coming months because of what happened in just the last few weeks in Afghanistan?
Boy, I'd be really surprised, because that would be the president, I think, passing the buck on this. And at the end of the day, everybody you talk to that's close to this White House, everybody I talk to that's close to this White House, will admit President Biden had made his decision about Afghanistan before he ever took the oath of office. And so the idea that somebody takes the fall for this, I think, would be a bit disingenuous to the president. I just don't expect it. Tony Blinken, his Secretary of State, and Jake Sullivan, these two people have been attached at the hip with him. I just can't imagine, because those would be the two giving, his two closest advisors on these issues. Pentagon's another story. And I go back to what I said before. I think as we unpack that, it's possible somebody or somebodies at the Pentagon could be the fault persons for the decision on the hastiness of the withdrawal. The sort of the most symbolic issue being leaving Bagram Air Base when we did. Should we have held on to that air base longer in order to assist the evacuation?
Right. Well, Chuck, thank you for your time this morning. Meet the Press airs today at 10 following Weekend Morning right here on 11 Alive.